Here at Yafa, we take pride in bringing you fine Palestinian produce of the highest quality, all sourced from pure Palestinian farms. Yafa proudly sponsors For the Love of Food, only on Islam Channel. Visit yafa.co.uk for our full range.
Award-winning chef and author of Perfectly Easy Indian Food, Shahnaz Ayub, brings you a cooking show dedicated to global cuisine because it's all for the love of food.
I'm Shahnaz Ayub, and for me, it's all about easy cooking. Comfort recipes that you can cook at home, when you have time and when you haven't. Mouth-watering meals shouldn't take that long to make. Assalamu alaikum, hello and welcome to For the Love of Food. I'm Shahnaz Ayub. Now, I love food from all over the world. I love takeaway food, and I'm going to show you how to reinvent that in your kitchen to make it healthier, more nutritious, lighter and easier on the purse as well. And what better cuisine to go for than Chinese food, which is what we're cooking today. And joining me as usual, we have two of our guests. My first guest you will instantly recognize from the smash hit series Apprentice. It is Nuran Ahmed. Assalamu alaikum. Oh, lovely to have you here.
Likewise, thanks for having me.
You're more than welcome. Now, you've washed your hands because that's my kitchen rule, and you're taking your place in your hot seat in my kitchen. Thank you so much. And my next guest is known for being one of the most influential Muslims in the world and a member of the British Empire. It is Muhammad Abdul Bari. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Pleasure to have you. Pleasure to have you. Please join me in my kitchen. And you've met one another already?
Yes.
Right, so we have two very influential people here today. How do we feel about Chinese food?
I love Chinese food, so I'm here to fire things up.
Wonderful. And you, brother?
I love as well, but I cannot cook.
Oh, that's fine. Well, you know what? You're getting a free lesson today.
I love it when others are cooking for me, so that's a good first point.
Right, so today we're going to make hoisin sweet chili lamb together with traditional egg fried rice. Sounds good?
Absolutely.
Excellent. Let's roll. Okay, so I've gone for very good cuts of lamb here. This is from the shoulder, okay? And I've cut them like this so that they're long and quite thin. I've got a cut here, which I'll do in front of you now. So you can ask your butcher just to get the cut for you, to get the cross section, and then you yourself with a sharp knife can make the slices like so. Now, are you guys squeamish about raw meat? Are you good meat eaters generally? Is this something that you could prepare in your kitchen yourselves?
Yes, certainly. I mean, I'm always cooking, whether it's meat or poultry, so I'm absolutely fine.
Well, interestingly enough, you have children, don't you? Do you have a large family?
I've got two younger daughters, and obviously I've got my family. So, but I won't say I'm cooking every day, but it's more of a luxury these days for me, being quite busy and hectic, and I find it quite sort of relaxing and therapeutic, so I do enjoy cooking. And I love continental food, so it's not just sort of, you know, Asian or fusion food. I love to experiment with sort of European food and Far East food. And my husband's a great cook as well.
Husbands that are great cook.
Absolutely.
Where are they?
But unfortunately, I mean, some, you know, now and then I get more occasional food poisoning, so...
what, from your husband's cooking?
I don't know whether it's the food or the husband, God knows. Whether it's intentionally, like, poisoning my food.
Any favours he was doing for you there have just stopped.
I know, exactly.
Particularly if he's watching this.
Probably he doesn't like to work then. To avoid.
Absolutely, no, but no, I think it's if you enjoy cooking and the passion's there, then, you know, it's good to then experiment.
Absolutely. Well, okay, look, we have got our cuts here. Now we're going to put them in this bowl, and we're going to mix in also some corn flour. Now the corn flour is very important to mix with your meat and Chinese food before you make it. And the reason for that is it's a process called velveting. And velveting basically seals the flavors in. So once you've covered them with this corn flour, you are sealing those flavors in when you cook them on the high heat.
Wow.
And that just makes this meat so juicy. So you know when we go to restaurants, Chinese takeaways, whatever, have you noticed how the meat is always so tender and juicy? Particularly the breast meat. It's amazingly tender, isn't it? And what they do is they use this process, and also the corn flour has the added advantage of thickening the sauce as well on cooking. So we've got that there.
Would you use potato starch as well if it's a substitute to?
I would always go for the corn flour. It's so readily available. You get it everywhere.
Just
so
like how we velvet our food with dalda and ghee.
I would say we velvet our food with quite a few things, don't we? But I think if we want to thicken it, then we use the gram flour, don't we?
Yeah,
basically. So we've got our wok on. There you go. And I'm going to ask you now to start cutting your vegetables because we want this nice and hot.
Okay.
Right. So what we're putting in here is fresh garlic, the red pepper that you have over there. So Nora, the first thing I'm going to ask you to do is quickly peel and chop up that garlic for me, please.
Right, should be skirmish now, thinking that my daughter can't cook.
She can do all those things, Auntie.
Right.
And this is for the whole world to see now.
That I can't cook.
You can do all those things. You know, the advantage of this is that you will see for yourself in the space of this show, which is a very short episode, we are able to make a full meal for the family in a matter of minutes. And you will differentiate between what you taste in the restaurants and what you're going to be tasting here. Good home-cooked food, which you can't go wrong with.
You want this sliced even smaller, or is it?
Just slightly smaller than that, please. In the meantime, brother, I'm going to be asking you to do something. If you could please... You look like you might be slightly out of your comfort zone here, but, you know, we're all getting a hand in this cooking today.
Yeah,
so I'm going to ask you to just... This is the simplest job in the world. Simplest job in the world. So we're going to be asking you to do that.
So no more excuses to your wife that I can't do anything. She'll this is the proof now.
Yeah,
this is proof.
And she can replay it and remind you next time.
She'll be surprised as well as happy.
All along you knew how to cut vegetables.
You were just pretending, weren't you, brother?
There we go.
Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to be adding a few spices to that as well. And spices that we're going to be adding, first of all, are going to be, along with the garlic, which is what we're going to be sealing with the lamb. After that, we're going to be adding our red chili flakes and ginger powder. We're going to just put them all together with a couple of sauces and soy sauce as well. And that is essentially it. On a hot wok, that's what you need. Always with Chinese food, have your ingredients ready. Because you can't afford to be chopping and doing everything beforehand. It must be done at the time. It should all be ready and prepared so that it just goes in straight away.
So the base ingredients for any Chinese food, you'd say, it's definitely corn flour and the soy sauce.
Well, certainly if you're going to be making meat, any meat that you make, cover it in the corn flour first.
Yeah.
Because you don't want watery ingredients. A lot of the vegetables that we're going to be using are going to be emitting that water. They're going to be releasing their own water. And you don't want that. You never get watery dishes, really, do you? They're really quite nice and thick, aren't they? And saucy. So that's where the corn flour comes in. Oh, I'm proud of you, brother. I am there. If you could be doing that for me as well. So we've got our wok on. Now that is nice and hot. Don't put your hand in it. You can just put your hand over it and see that this is hot enough, okay? So on a nice hot flame there. And we're going to be adding our sesame oil. Now, sesame oil, add quite sparingly because it is quite a strong taste. It's from, obviously, the sesame seeds. It's quite strong, it's quite pungent, so we don't need much of it. That would probably be enough there. Now, Nora, I'm going to ask you, please, to put in your garlic, if that's okay. Just toss that in. Brilliant, and you can see that straight away sizzling away. Okay, so that's all your garlic. That's going to get stirred around.
You want them in strips or cubes?
Cut them into strips, actually. Strips always looks a lot more appealing in Chinese food. Brother, please take us through.
Me showing off my cutting skills. Cubes, strips.
I'm doing very well indeed. Right, Nuran, you had us all captivated. You had us all captivated. You did us proud.
What, with my team name, Decadence?
Decadence. I was extremely pleased to see a sister doing so well. You really did do us proud, mashallah. But tell us about it. You can speak now because the show is over. So.
It's not really free at all.
The whole experience, is extremely sort of pressurising, but also very, I really enjoyed the experience, and it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Having said that, I don't think I'd ever want to do it again. It's very intense, it's very callous at times, very rigorous, and it's very ruthless. So you really need a thick skin, and I think anyone with, having integrity would probably not want to go through that whole process.
Now, you were in there with very big characters.
Oh, yeah.
And I would say divas.
It's funny because the people that you actually live with in the house are totally different to what you see on screen. So the minute that, 1 minute you're in the house, you're eating off each other's hands, you're plaiting each other's hair, but then the minute you're in the boardroom, no one really cares about you, they don't know you. So it's a very sort of a dog-eat-dog
It's
world.
almost like it was, friends one moment and virtually enemies the next.
Even on set, we were always told to leave everything at the boardroom. So when you go home, you can't talk about anything that's happened. So it was very hard, because mentally it was like a roller coaster. 1 minute you're at each other, and the next minute you're meant to be friends, and it was really hard. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to add to this my chili flakes. Let's put about a teaspoon in there. I'm also going to add a little bit of ginger powder as well. I'll add that from the packet itself.
Is that the only spice in?
Yeah, so that's what we're putting in there, and we're just going to give it a good stir. Have we got our vegetables ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go in with now this is a very noisy dish, I'm terribly sorry. So we're going to go in with our soy sauce. Use a light soy sauce.
You get the dark, is it a plum-based soy sauce as well?
That's right. Yeah, I would go for the light one, a good make, always a good make. Sweet chili sauce goes in as well. That sets against the soy sauce and gives it that little sweet kick. Yep. And then we're going to add our hoisin sauce as well. Hoisin is a lovely sauce. Have you ever tried it before?
I have, yes.
It's one of those sauces that you have with duck traditionally, and it just adds another sweetness. It's got all the 5 spices in as well.
Very pungent in its odour, and you're only meant to have a little bit, isn't it? Because it's very strong.
It is very strong, but it's one of those really delicious ones. Now, brother, you can come in with your spring onions now. Let's put them in.
Okay.
You did such a great job.
Thank you.
I have to say, you did your wife proud.
Absolutely.
Okay, and Nuran, if you'd like to put your peppers in as well,
Is
please.
this okay to the side?
These are absolutely fine.
Here at Yafa, we take pride in bringing you fine Palestinian produce of the highest quality, all sourced from pure Palestinian farms. Yafa proudly sponsors For the Love of Food, only on Islam Channel. Visit yafa.co.uk for our full range.
So, brother, you are amazing. You are a physicist. You started off as a physicist, as a teacher, and then you carried on with your teaching, but you really wanted to involve yourself in the community, particularly the community that in the East End, that obviously aren't as privileged. Tell me about that.
I came in 78 first, 1978, many years ago, as an air force officer for training. I used to come to East End to meet some people, and from then onward I saw the small quarter cabin of Islamic Mosque. It was a small quarter cabin.
Whoa, of the East London Mosque, which is now
a massive complex.
Yes, amazing.
And so every now and then I used to come and went back. I came in 83 for doing PhD in physics in King's College. Then I got involved with the community activities, especially the weekend. And at that time, many young people were working in the factories, textile factories, as well as in the restaurants. There was no that much number of young Bangladeshi boys and girls in the school or education. Education was just one aspect. We tried to bring them into the world.
Bring them more rounded people.
Rounded people.
Realise that there is a world outside of their front door.
Because we are religious, means we used to go to the mosque, so we used to know a lot of parents.
Yes.
So we went to some parents' house and discussed with them that your son or daughter is really, really clever, intelligent. What's the plan after they finish this SC or O level? And we convinced many of them, fortunately. And I can remember few dozens of them had passed through our hands. And many of them have become established in their lives.
You've made a difference to their lives, brother, and you should be very, very proud of that.
Yeah, alhamdulillah.
Yes. Right, now, this is almost done. I'm going to start with the fried rice now. So, Nuran, you've had already a go, brother, at chopping the spring onions. I'm going to ask you to chop them extremely finely. Let's just take that mess away from you there. And you're competing with brother here, because he did such an excellent job. To make this slightly thicker, I've got some water here, because don't forget we had the corn flour, didn't we? So the corn flour, see how that thickens that sauce up almost immediately.
And does the flour sort of take in absorbs in a lot of fluid?
It does, yes, it does. So that makes it a nice thick sauce there. A bit like a roux in English. When you're making a Belgian sauce, it's the same sort of concept. Okay.
It's not neat as Dr. Barry's, but there we go.
Now, I would always say, actually, whenever you cook food, always taste it. See if it needs anything more added. That, to me, is absolutely perfect. It doesn't need anything more. Right, so we're going to start with the egg fried rice now. Egg fried rice.
My favourite.
This is the classic takeaway food, isn't it? Yeah. So simple and so much fresher and lighter to make it at home. You will notice the difference straight away, and extremely easy. So I always go for, and I've got it here, the basmati rice. Now, basmati rice, because it's a good quality rice, and you can use any good quality make, really. Now, the important thing is that it's more flavoursome, it's a lot more fragrant than any other kind of rice. And the other important thing is that you must always cook this in advance. Whenever you're making egg fried rice, don't use rice that you have just cooked that is hot, because the heat from that rice, well, apart from anything else, the heat from that rice doesn't allow it to fry as well, and it just doesn't come out as well, and also it breaks quite easily as well. So use rice that's already cold. Cook it fully, make sure it's nice, cold, it's been in the fridge, but rice, just like meat, needs to be heated extremely. A physicist, you'll know this. Bacteria festers on rice almost immediately. So tip for everyone, actually, whenever you make rice and you've got to reheat it, you must reheat it to the optimum temperature. If you've had rice that's been in the fridge already and you want to use it the next day, what I usually do is put it in a bowl, sprinkle it, drizzle it with a little bit of water, cover it so it cooks in its steam again. And at 100 degrees, it'll kill all that bacteria.
Excellent.
Are you impressed, Doctor?
I'm impressed. It's done in my house, but I'm just discovering practically why it is done.
So next time when you have rice left over, this is a dish that you can literally put together.
Exactly. So, Noreen, I'm going to ask you, please, very carefully, because this oil is very tempered at the moment. That's it. So the spring onions go in. It's just a bunch of spring onions. And that's going to be cooked on a high heat. Okay, so we've got that going. And also, egg fried rice wouldn't be egg fried rice without the
egg.
Exactly. Okay, and they cook immediately. So we're in with that nice high heat. And we're just going to start breaking the egg up straight away. We want small pieces of it, so it gets broken up straight away on your high heat. And that's what it looks a bit like an omelette at the moment, but it will break eventually.
Here at Yafa, we take pride in bringing you fine Palestinian produce of the highest quality, all sourced from pure Palestinian farms. Yafa proudly sponsors For the Love of Food, only on Islam Channel. Visit yafa.co.uk for our full range.
So, Noreen, since apprentice days, what has happened to you? You have reached dizzy heights with your career. You were already a businesswoman. Tell me what's happened since then.
I mean, at the moment, I'm concentrating on launching my online collection, so it will be the Noor and Ahmed collection.
Of? Headscarves?
Headscarves,
yes,
scarves,
you
and
have
accessories.
to say. Because this was out in...
Absolutely, so my scarves are, you know, it's definitely for anyone with a head and a neck, obviously, so I don't, you know, specifically for the Muslim community.
Basically anyone that's alive.
And also I'm going into sort of public speaking platform as well, so I'm joining up with a public speaking academy, so this is more of the motivational and inspirational sort of talks, encouraging not just Muslim but Asian women to come into sort of the business arena.
What is the sort of response that you've
It's been really overwhelming. You know, I've done events, I'm going to local schools, a school in Blackburn in Birmingham.
So you're talking to youngsters as well as sisters of your age and
absolutely. So you know, it is young, sort of encouraging younger generation, but also you know mothers and just generally Asian women that want to go into business.
Excellent. Now, while you were talking, I added the rice, the ready-made rice that we had in already, and this is almost done. I'm just going to add, instead of salt and pepper, I'm going to add a little bit of soy sauce because that does give it a slight kick and flavour. Because egg fried rice is something that you can actually eat on its own as well. It's quite nice, isn't it, just to have on its own.
So this dish, I know it's a Chinese dish, but where does it originate from in China?
So we have regions of China, just like we have in any country, regions with different kinds of cuisine. So we have Beijing, Sichuan, Hunan, Cantonese, and Fujian. This, I would say, is Hunan on account of the fact that it's got the sweet and sour flavours going on here. So that's where we are with it. Okay, so Noran, this is done. If you'd like to pass me your plate. Ladies first.
It smells great.
Oh, do you know, you won't be disappointed,
sure.
even if I say so myself. Okay,
I'm sure it tastes as good as it looks.
And you know, by cutting the lamb finely, it's just made such a difference to the speed. I mean, how long has it taken us to get this to the table? This has taken a matter of minutes, hasn't it, really, when you think about it? It's just all about having the ingredients ready and ready to put straight into the pan as soon as you have it all prepared. And that's the trick of Chinese food, really. They prefer their vegetables to be crunchy, the meat to be tender, a nice tangy sauce to go with it as well.
Feeling really hungry. Really good.
Is it really good?
Excellent.
Oh, do you know what? Coming from you, that is a real compliment. Thank you so much. No, and I'm waiting.
No, this is really, really good, and I'm quite surprised that in the short time that you actually cook this, the meat is really, really tender.
Yeah.
And it's got that sort of, like you said, that velvety sort of very thick sauce as well. It's absolutely perfect.
Do you know, it's all about the cut of the meat and using the fresh ingredients and the vegetables. Make your meat as thin as possible. It will cook very well on a high heat. And always use a wok.
Yeah.
Excellent.
So the only thing that I want to take away is, can I take you away to my house, to my kitchen? But it's so much, No,
I come with the family, Nora. I come with the family. Okay. While my guests are enjoying their food, I'm going to tidy up the kitchen because now they're going to go head to head with the Roti challenge. I don't know if you know about this yet. Is it a complete surprise? Well, they're going to have to make rotis with How Round Is Your Roti? Join us in just a minute. Well, so this is the time that I get to put my feet up and watch my guests become contestants as they go head to head on For the Love of Food. How Round Is Your Roti challenge? So guys, are you ready for this?
Yeah.
On your marks, get set, go. Right, so, oh, good start, Dr. Saab. I'm quite impressed with you.
There you go.
Not bad at all. Okay, so Nuran has started rolling already.
Well, each
Well
time
done.
Roti, it's sort of like a map of Bangladesh. So if I could get it
At least you're
right.
being patriotic.
I cannot win against Nurun.
Nuran, how many of these do we make a day?
None at all.
None at all? Okay, that wasn't the answer I was looking for. And considering you make none at all, that is impressive. Put your heat up straight away.
Okay.
Well done. Ooh, no pressure, Doctor. We need to get yours on now, I think.
Okay.
Doing very, very well.
Having said that, I do love my parathas and rotis.
Oh my God.
Oh, don't we all love
Not
parathas? Oh, the best ever. That's brilliant. Come on, let's get that one on. Put your heat up. Excellent, brother. Well done. Okay. Right, so we're looking for the one that's going to cook the first.
It's more like a...
This is more pressure than in the boardroom?
Yes, of course. Facing raw sugar and facing you.
Oh no. You know what? His heat is up. Doctor's heat is up.
Yeah, my
so his seems to be.
I think my roti's a bit more dense than his, that's why.
Density. What do we know about density against volume and surface area?
Yeah. But yeah, my one is more probably shapy. So you don't it's more or less round.
And we're rising here as well. Gosh, he's got bubbling effect going on.
My roti's not rising to the challenge. Why?
I think we might be good to go.
Okay.
All right, you can turn off your heat now.
There we go.
Whoa, it's still puffed up.
Oh,
Very good. Nuran, when you're ready,
I'll
you don't want to give me something raw.
There we go. This is the raw challenge. There we go.
The raw challenge. Okay. As far as round is concerned.
Nurun is better.
Okay, I think Nuran's is a better one, but you know it's a combination of two things. Incredible puffiness going on here. I'm very impressed, and it's cooked. Nuran, I can tell you just by looking at it, it's a little bit stodgy. It needed to be thinner, and it's not quite cooked.
No.
You're fired!
Oh, again!
You are fired!
Again,
Impressed, brother. You have won today's competition. Well done, well done.
Thank you.
Oh, you deserve a drink for that.
If she allows me to win, then...
A glass of sparkling grape juice for you. Well done.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations. I just want to thank you both for coming on today and being such great sports. Thank you so much. We've had so much fun. Fantastic. And join me next time on For the Love of Food, when we'll be tantalising your taste buds even more than we have done today. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. See you next time.
Here at Yafa, we take pride in bringing you fine Palestinian produce of the highest quality, all sourced from pure Palestinian farms. Yafa proudly sponsors For the Love of Food, only on Islam Channel. Visit yafa.co.uk for our full range.